Hi, it's Valerie with Light in My Pathway, coming to you to just catch up, I guess, on what's been going on over the summer. I was a little embarrassed to discover the last video I had uploaded was talking about Father's Day cards, and here we are, almost to the end of August. School has already started, and Labor Day is like what, next weekend? Wow, how did we get here so quickly? I have been very busy. I've been making lots of cards, lots of personal cards, lots of cards for the market, and have been getting some orders also to make cards, which is a good thing. But I have been busy, which is great um, because it's too hot really to do anything else. So, enough with that. Let's talk a little bit about what I've been doing. We got Father's Day behind us, and just been making some general cards. Cards kind of slowed down a little bit because there weren't any holidays, not any special occasions, and I guess there just didn't seem to be a need for cards. But that's okay because I needed a lull for a little bit to kind of catch me up. I'm looking down because I'm going to pull up my photo gallery on my pad. Um, I'm hoping what I am able to do here in a little bit is possibly demonstrate for you sort of how I make a card. I'd had a request from someone who follows me that they would like to see my process of making a card, and I'm gonna see if I can do that. Um, anyway, I wanted to show you a few cards. Of course, I don't, you know what the interesting thing is about, it's really the card making season right now, even though it's 100+ degrees, is that it's August and we're 4 months out from Christmas. And I should have already been making Christmas cards, but I have started that process, although I don't have very many made. Um, I will show you what I have. I'm going to pause this for just a second and go get those so you don't have to watch me disappear and come back. So hold on. All right, I'm back. That was fast, right? Okay, there's just a couple that I have done. This one I created for Christmas, and it's actually two different stamps. I did a background stamp, and then I did the girl, and it just says "'Tis the season to, uh, 'tis the season to be jolly." And I did the sentiment right here on what's called vellum, which is a kind of an opaque, almost, it is a see-through, as you can tell. You can see the background behind it, which I wanted that to happen. And on the inside of the card it says, "May the joys of the season be yours." So I'm going to have more. I've got one other card to show you. Other than that, I don't have any more done, but I'm working on it. This one was really fun. This one was also done with two different stamps, and I used a background stamp, which is this hymn, well, Christmas carol, "Joy to the world, the Lord has come." And then I used another stamp, and I did what's called embossing on the vellum paper I was just telling you about, so that you could see the background. But I wanted to put the image of Mary and baby Jesus on the front, and I used heat embossing. So heat embossing it's a powder. You use ink to make the powder attach to the imprinted image, and then you use a heat gun to melt the powder, and it gives you this really cool effect. So I thought that was fun. And on the inside of this one it says, "Let the earth receive her king." So I will be doing some more cards, getting ready for Christmas, but there's a couple of them to give you a sneak peek. And let's see, what else do I have? was going to see if I could show you. I was looking for my photos. There we go. That was not what I was looking for. All right, let me go some other place. No, they're not there. I might not show them to you because I'm actually videoing with my phone. And I tried to send the photos to my pad, and I don't know where they are. So maybe you won't see those. But I can do there they go. I did find them. Just takes me a minute. And if you've been following me on Facebook, if you've been going to the website, you have seen a lot of these cards already. I did want to show you some custom orders also that were fun to do. In fact, let me show you those first. This one was real fun to do. I had a friend of mine ask me to make a card. She got married last year. She's about my age, and she had been single for several years, and she got married last year to actually a cousin of mine, cousin by marriage. He's my husband's cousin. But went to the ceremony, and they're getting ready to celebrate their first anniversary in November 11th. And so she asked me to make her a card already. She was preparing. So this is the card. As you can see, it says, "I promise to always be there." And what I did is sorry, didn't mean to ask Siri in on this conversation. I used two different stamps here. You've probably seen the girl before, maybe not the male stamp, but I do have this male stamp and have used it. He's relatively new, and the girl actually had balloons originally attached to her, and I cut those away because this wasn't a birthday, this was an anniversary. And so anyway, and she wears her hair that way sometimes, and he's bald. So she thought this looked that this would be a neat card to make, would be a neat card if I use these two images. And so this is her anniversary card, and it's pretty cool. So I'm just telling you that because if you're wanting a certain look, I might can do that for you. So just ask me, because you never know. So that was a customer card. Here's another customer card, a friend of mine that asked me, who is a real estate agent, and she wanted some thank you cards to give to people when they refer a client to her. And so I made up a couple of different ones for her because I wasn't exactly sure what she wanted. I'd already made her some cards to give to her clients when they bought a home from her and used her as their agent. And and I used a house on those because she wanted to have not only thank them, but congratulations on your new home and thank you for using me as your real estate agent. So these were going to be different. These were going to be thank you for your referral. And so what I did is I made thanks a grande. It's a coffee cup, and just an inked based background that is, I don't know, yeah, there you can see it. See, the background has kind of an imprint on it, and that is used with an embossing folder is what it's called. And what it does is it just pressures an imprint into the paper and gives it that raised effect, which is really fun. And I actually inked the paper beforehand, and then I ran it through the embossing folder. You put let me just get the folder. All right, this isn't that exact folder, but this one was just easy to grab because I used it recently. This one's just wood grain, but what you do is you put the paper inside here and you sandwich it and then you put it on a plate. There's this plate, and then there's this mat, and you sandwich the two together, and then you run it through a press or a machine that causes pressure, and it causes the imprint to the paper. That was kind of a lengthy description there, wasn't it? Maybe I should show you how to do that too sometime, but not today. And then another one I made I really like this one, but of course I like it because it has horses in it. I did a little Western type thank you. I don't want to hit Siri again. If you can see that, yeah, it says much obliged, and it's a cowboy with another horse, and I used two different stamps for this one too because the barbed wire is a different stamp, but I love how the barbed wire just made a frame around the picture, and so I made her those two different ones to pick and choose from. And then I kind of went a little bit different, went off a little different way of how I create cards, and started using a little bit different. I mean, I've done it before, just haven't done it very recently. And I did some watercolor and some more embossing, and made these more, I guess they'd be more spiritual or inspirational type cards. This one I made for the market, and the flowers are watercolored on watercolor paper, and it just says, "The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still," and that's out of Exodus 14:34. But I just love that stamp, and I loved how this card turned out, and actually it sold really fast. I don't know why I'm surprised, but it did sell really fast, and I actually had a request from another customer that doesn't live here for that card, so I just made another one for her. And I'm going to put another, I'll talk here in a second. This card is easy enough to make more of because I'm not limited with the materials I use to make it. And so I went ahead and made another card. In fact, I'm even thinking about maybe making a couple more with different colored flowers. But I do really like how this one turned out. Whoops. And then there's this one. I'm not going to try to read that to you. You can actually see it. So this was also done with watercolor. The flowers is a stamped image that I stamped on there and then watercolored it using watercolors, and and then embossed the wording on the side there. That one turned out really nice too. And this one I was really proud of how this one came out. I made this one for the market, and it sold right away. And I think I've made another one. If it's not there, I'll try to make another one, because this is another card that I can replicate it because it's not as certain papers. I colored the image and put the verse on there, and so I have all that stuff handy. So anyway, that's and this one, I put a couple of sympathy cards in the market this time. I hadn't ever done that before. I was real keenly aware that there had been several deaths in our community, and not because of any tragedy necessarily, but some older people that have passed, and they seem to be kind of close together, and it just kind of made me aware of the need to have some of those type cards available. None of us like to have to give those, but when you don't know what to say and you want to at least show you care, it's nice to have a card. So it was a real simple card, but it was very easy to make and put together, and just simply says praying for you, and there is a sentiment on the inside. I just don't remember what I put, but this card is on the website, and under the description of that card is what it says on the inside, so you can go look. Here's another one. It says with sympathy, and it's just a little dove. I liked the simplicity, and just kind of makes it it makes it an elegant looking card and a nice thing to give to somebody. And then I did this. I actually made two different ones. I made one for a customer that I still have, actually, come to think of it, because I haven't given it to her yet, because I've not completed her order yet. So I'll show you some of those. Oh, anyway. This one I thought was kind of fun. It says, I just wanted to say, and on the inside I put something to the effect of get well soon. It's basically a get well card. But then I made another one to put in the market, which I haven't gone to the market with it yet, because it's right here in my hand. You see, I used a little bit different paper. And it just simply says, sorry you had a bad day. You know, you ever have a girlfriend that it's just one of those days you didn't want to get out of bed, and it could be that you're not really sick, you just, stuff happens. And it says, I have no words, just sorry. Sometimes you just need that little something to just know that somebody cares and understands where you're at, right? So I thought that would be a fun card to have available for sale in the market. And I think that just about does it for now. So let me see. I've never done this before, so I'm going to see if I can set the camera up to be able to look at my table or my desk and see if I can show you actually making a card. We'll see. Hold on while I try to do that. Well, I can't figure out how to do that, so I can't make it flip around.